Here's every ability that Rogue is going to be able to steal from each character. For Spider-Man, it's his amazing combo. For Magneto, it's his Iron Bulwark. For Wanda, it's her stun. For Thor, it's his Super Saiyan mode. Now, Bucky is where it gets interesting. Not every hero gives her an ability. And Bucky is the first of those where if she copies Bucky, she actually resets the cooldown of her Fatal Attraction. Penny gives that same reset. Star-Lord also gives that same reset. Funny enough, Namor actually gives her the squid. This one blows my mind, but Adam actually gives Soul Bond. I don't know why they didn't give her any of Bucky's abilities, thinking maybe they were OP, but they gave her Soul Bond, arguably a top 3 ability in the game. For Jeff, it's his Healing Bubble. For Psylocke, it's her Invisibility, which I'm not gonna lie is probably one of the worst things that you could copy as a tank. For Wolverine, it's actually his damage reduction and healing, which is insane. For Iron Fist, it's his recovery. For Sue, it's her push. For Mr. Fantastic, she gets that reset on her Fatal Attraction. For the Thing, she steals Rock Solid, which applies damage reduction to herself and actually gives her his passive ability, which is actually really strong. For Human Torch, it's his Pyro Blaze, which is the little firewalls, but good luck catching Torch in the air. For Ultron, she gets a reset on her Fatal Attraction. For Emma, it's her Diamond Form, another great option. For Phoenix, it's her Stun. For Blade, it's actually his Lifesteal mode, which is up there with Wolverine for the best option. For Angela, she gets that reset to Fatal Attraction. For Rogue, she gets his Spade deck. For Daredevil, she gets his Sonic Pursuit, which is where he marks the target, gains speed and damage reduction from that target, and then also be able to follow it up with a dash to that target. For the Hulk, it's Gamma Burst. For the Punisher, it's a reset to her Fatal Attraction. For Storm, it's her Goddess Boost, where she's actually able to switch between the speed boost and damage, which I think is kind of crazy, but it's going to be really hard to copy a flyer. For Loki, it's his Pylons. For Doctor Strange, it's his Shield. For Mantis, it's her Sleep. For Hawkeye, you get a reset on her Fatal Attraction. For Captain America, same thing, Fatal Attraction. For Rocket, same thing, Fatal Attraction. I think it would have been hilarious to give her his dash and wall climb. For Hela, it's her Stun. For Cloak and Dagger, it actually depends on if she copies Cloak or Dagger. For Dagger, it's the Dagger Storm. For Cloak, it's the Tear Cape. Panther, Fatal Attraction. For Groot, it's his Iron Wall. Magic, it's actually her Stepping Disc, which I think is kind of interesting how they gave her the Stepping Disc, but then characters like Panther just gave her a reset instead of dash. Moon Knight, Fatal Attraction. Luna's Stun. For Squirrel Girl, it's actually her Tail Bounce. It's really funny that they gave a bunch of characters stuns, but then for the stun character, they're like, let's give her a jump. For Black Widow, it's Fatal Attraction. For Iron Man, Fatal Attraction. For Venom, it's actually his Tendrils. If they would have given her his Overshield, that would have been nuts. And then finally, she copies herself. She gets that reset to her Fatal Attraction. But which one do you guys think is going to be the most overpowered?